Hi guys, welcome back. In today's video, I want to finally tell you how I learned English. So everything started way before I was born. When my mom was 18 years old, she heard the name Sabina, and since that time, she knew she's gonna have a child. There's gonna be a daughter, only a daughter, and she's gonna name her Sabina. She also wanted her to speak French and do the ballet dancing. So not all of her dreams came true. Well, I am a daughter, I'm her daughter. My name is Sabina, but unfortunately I don't do the ballet dancing because when I was small and my mom brought me to these dancing classes, the teacher said that I'm very bad in dancing. I don't have rhythm, I don't have something else, I don't know, I was just not talented in dancing. But I personally think that was not true. I'm a good dancer. Maybe one day I will show you how I dance. Anyway, another dream of me to speak French also failed because it was in 1992 or 1993, and you can imagine it's the collapse of the USSR. It's a small town in Kazakhstan called Pavlodar. Everything was a mess. So there was a teacher of French language, but I think she was very smart, and as soon as the borders opened, she decided to get out of Kazakhstan. Maybe she now lives in France or in Canada, who knows. So anyway, my mom started to look for the alternative, and as she was working in the Pavlodar State University, it was very easy for her to find an alternative as English language. So she found a teacher who would come to our house and start teaching me English. At that time, I was 6 years old. I was about to turn 7 years old. It was the summer of 1993. My teacher's name, I still remember, was Soulem. She was about 21 years old. I loved her. She's amazing. I'm very thankful to her because I think that it's very important to have good teachers, to have kind teachers, and the teachers who are really teachers, who really want to teach. And I was just 6 years old. I didn't want to study. I was very energetic child. But when I knew that she's gonna come, I was very happy. She made these language classes very interesting. We were playing all the time. I knew that if Soule is coming, we're gonna have a great time with her one-on-one. She was kind of my grown-up friend, and she is very beautiful. We still see each other sometimes in Almaty, even though Almaty is very big, but sometimes we do see each other. She recognizes me, I also recognize her. I had her only for 1 or 2 years, I think, but she was the one who gave me the basics of the pronunciation. These, you see, like the way I pronounce the or that's all because of her. All of the phonetics we were learning with her, as well as the grammar. That's all her beginning, and it was pretty successful. Plus, to having my Soule, I had an English language class, which means that I had English language classes for 3 or even 4 times per week. So I was learning English at school, and then I was also learning English at home. So as I started learning English a little bit before I went to the first grade, I was kind of repeating everything that I've already gone through. So I think this helped me a lot in speaking the language better and faster. Also, you know what, I think it's very good that my mom gave me to learn English when I was 6. I studied at this school for 4 years, and then my mom took me to another school because she wanted me to have a better school or courses of my English, so I know the English better. At that school, we also had English for, I guess this time, at the second school, I had it for 4 times per week, but it was 2 hours, 2 academic hours. So it was a little bit more of English. After that, I changed another school, and again, it all was because of the English. Finally, at the age of 14 years old, I was given to my last school where we had English language twice per day, every single day. Plus to this, my mom at that time in the 90s, she went to Moscow very often, and she'd bring me all kinds of books in English. And guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I was a teenager, I hated reading. I didn't like it. I didn't get any pleasure of that. But the books that my mom brought me, the English ones, I had to read them, because if I didn't read them and they were just lying there on the table, I felt myself guilty. And you know what, funny thing is that my mom never made me read. She would never scream at me. She would never be like, strict to me, like, learn the language. I looked at those books and I felt myself so bad, because I knew that they were brought from Moscow. It was so far away and they were expensive, and not all people could afford buying these books. And understanding of these things made me go and read these books. Reading helped me to remember, to learn the tenses easier, to learn more words. I read at home a lot. So when I went to school, we read again, and there were already a lot of the words that I knew. So basically reading helped me to progress in English with no suffering. And guys, of course, those books, they were not the advanced ones. They were, at the beginning, they were just for the beginners. Then it were the intermediate level, and in the university, I already read the advanced one. But in the university, I didn't have that feeling of guilt, because I already spoke English, and I could express myself freely. I could do the presentation, so I wasn't too strict to myself, let's say so. Also, in 2001, 2002, the cable TV came to Kazakhstan, and that was just a mind-blowing thing. All of these foreign channels like MTV, CNN, BBC, VH1, all of these channels just came. When I was small, in the 90s, we had only 4 channels. And when the cable TV came and all of these foreigners, they're talking in English and there is no translation, you can actually sit and look at them. You don't have to pay any more money for this. You don't have to have a CD player. You don't have to have anything. You're just basically sit in front of the TV and you're like, okay, let's see what the CNN does. So what I did, I came from school, turned on the TV. I loved watching CNN, the Larry King show. I loved him. He was such a fun person, and he always had all of these famous people who would come to his program. That was a lot of fun to me, and I was 14, 15 years old. I was so excited that I understand it, and it made me even watch more and more. At the same time, with this cable TV, CNN, BBC, I started also watching the movies in English. My mom also would bring it from Moscow. And I watched the first movie. I remember it was called The Legends of the Fall. I watched it so many times. I kept on watching over and over. And you know what? For me, I think the motivation of why I kept on watching all of these CNN programs, even though a lot of them were boring, like what kind of a teenager likes to watch the news, right? Would you watch the news? I would never watch the news in Russian language, like never. The biggest motivation for me was that I was so excited to understand a language, another one. And I was so proud of myself. All of these things, like reading, watching the CNN, watching BBC, reading movies, They all happened during the school. And after I finished school, I entered the Kimop University, and you can Google it. It's the Kazakhstan Institute of Management, Economics, and Strategic Research. In short, it's called Kimop. I studied there for 4 years, and this university is said to be one of the best universities in Kazakhstan. When I studied there, it was actually the best university in Central Asia, but now the best university in Central Asia in Kazakhstan is said to be the Nursultan Nazarbayev University, and I think you all understand why. So anyway, I studied for the Bachelor of Public Administration, but initially when I just entered this university, I just brought my documents there. I wanted to go for the international relationships, but remember, I didn't like reading when I was a teenager. So yeah, when you go to the Faculty of International Relationships, you have to read a lot. That was like a huge problem to me. All of these agreements, all of these dates, even though I like history, I love history, I found it very boring. So I just took what was the easiest. I don't know, was it right or was it wrong? But to tell the truth, if you are sitting there, you're 18 years old, you are maybe 20 years old, and you're maybe just finishing your school, or you're studying in the university, you don't like what you study, just quit your university and do whatever you like. Because now, of course, I know the language, of course, I think it's good to study in a prestigious university, but if you don't like studying there, there's no point. For me, it was boring to study there. So I went out a little bit of the theme. Anyway, all of the subjects in Kimop were taught in English, like all of them. There wasn't any subject that we could do in Russian or in Kazakh. So all of them were taught in English. And the teachers, the lecturers, they all were from either Great Britain, the United States, Australia. Some of them were from France, from Poland, from Czech Republic. Basically, they were all foreigners. In this university, as you already can understand, I had no choice but to improve my English more and more. There, I learned to do the presentation because we did it once per week. In some subject, we did it twice per week. We're doing the presentations over and over and over again. I am, like my personality, I'm very shy. I'm super shy. And back when I was 17, 18 years old, that was a disaster. I was a big disaster. I would go out with my paper and I would be looking like this, and I would be like, like reading. And can you imagine, I'm shy and I have to do it in a foreign language and I'm nervous, and all of that was like, oh my God. But thanks to the teachers there, I learned to do the presentations in English. By the fourth course, I was doing it like this. Not only me, all of us were doing it very easily. We would go out to the front desk and start doing this and this and this, presenting ourselves. After I graduated university in 2008, I got a job in the international company where also everything was in English. All of the emails were in English, all of the clients were English speaking. So again, I had no choice and I had to speak and practice more and more English. At this job, I met my ex-boyfriend already. So he was from Canada, and all of the slang words, all of the bad words, I know from him. And when I started dating him, I felt myself more relaxed and more free to speak English, because he wasn't just a teacher, he wasn't just a foreign student, he wasn't a client, he was just a dude. He was my boyfriend. This helped me to start speaking English in a more relaxed way, to use the slang words, to use the words like hey dude. All in all, if we do a sum up of how I learn English, the main thing is to start as soon as you can. Second of all, to read as much as you can. Third is to have a tutor. You learned at school, that's cool. You learned at school, that's cool. Okay, you learn it at school, you or your maybe child, but it's good to have a tutor. The next is watching as many programs as you can. News, shows like Larry King Show. Of course, the surrounding. You have to put yourself in the surrounding where you will not have any choice but to speak English, where all of the teachers, the people who you want to get something from, who you get the knowledge from, they speak only English and you have no choice. That's your surrounding. And you also have some foreign students with who you might be doing a presentation, or I don't know, you're doing some project. A bonus, and I think that's a bonus, to have an English-speaking boyfriend or an English-speaking girlfriend, because there you feel yourself more relaxed to ask how to say this thing or how you say this thing. You are not shy to ask. You feel yourself comfortable to say the things, to ask the things. Okay guys, I hope that was not too boring for you. If you have more questions, if I missed something, please comment me under the video. I will be very happy to answer them. See you in the next video. Bye bye.